Have you heard of The Daily Wire? It's a self-proclaimed media company that brings together some of the worst men on the internet, like Jordan Peterson, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, and more. And earlier this month, its CEO found himself in a Twitter space with this guy. His name is Nick Fuentes, and you may recognize him from headlines like this. Or this. So yeah, that's the guy who was on a Twitter space with Jeremy Boring, CEO and co-founder of The Daily Wire. And while, as Christopher Mathias wrote for the Huffington Post, Boring has previously called Fuentes a trolling little racist bastard, a wicked little shit with evil ideas, and has encouraged people to give Fuentes no attention at all. When speaking to Fuentes in a Twitter space earlier this month, Boring seemed to have softened his position slightly. Because while he still had criticisms for Fuentes, he cloaked those criticisms in compliments, calling Fuentes very funny, talented, and saying he listens to his show quite often. Don't believe me? Well, I recorded the Twitter space at the time, and check it out for yourself.
I'll say this, Nick, that I listen to your show quite often. I think you're one of the most talented people out there, and I'm very concerned about some of the things that you're saying. You're a very funny guy. You make very subtle arguments, and you tell a lot of jokes. It's very hard after a certain amount of time, though, to believe that all of those jokes are jokes.
So yeah, it's good to know the God King of the Daily Wire often listens to a show where Fuentes says things like this.
We believe that these things like transgenderism and homosexuality and feminism and usury and liberalism itself, these things are sinful. These things are wrong. Democracy is wrong. Feminism is wrong. Contraceptives are wrong. If you want to be right with God, you must oppose all this stuff. You know what isn't said to be wrong? Anti-Semitism, denying the Holocaust, being racist, being, whatever.
And not only that, considers Fuentes' arguments subtle. So next time you see that Daily Wire logo, which I see quite often on here because of this account, you might want to consider the source and the judgment of the people in charge of it. What do you think of all this?